Yo, don't scroll. You see that place about me? Some thief in mechanic of Jamaica in a problem. And the Jamaican mechanic there in a problem now because guess what? The facility a be a Chinese mechanic. Just look at it. State-of-the-art facility just opened. Don't a machine and don't come in. And look at them. Any iron vehicle wanna have problem but we wanna can't find. Just look at it. This just come out this morning and the man in an engine already. Oil, service parts, you have to kill. New machinery, and a lot of them soon come. Any vehicle, as long as they have a 4 or 6 wheel or 10 wheel, you're ready for them. Low end to high end, see there, everything then sort out. Service parts and rare. Yeah man, they're ready for everything. Any vehicle you have, any problem where you can't find. Then do electrical work, mechanical, and while you wait in a comfort and style. AC.
Hello everyone, how are you? Hope all is well with you all and you and your families are doing okay. I find one of the most common cause of stress, especially in our Jamaican culture, comes from dealing with idiots who are wrong and strong and not getting value for our money. Total inadequate customer service and bad business practices are some of the main things that cause people to always be angered and totally stressed out. You know what I hate most of all? Is when you feel you're paying your hard-working money to people who acts like they are doing you a favor to do their jobs that you are paying them to do. And all the above leads to an angry population, always in defense mode, and in a lot of cases can lead to crime and violence. As Nelson Mandela once said, when a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. Hence the reason why Jamaicans are mostly known as aggressive and toxic people. Which brings me to a very welcoming change. Sad to say, it's not from our own people, but from the Chinese and their mechanic business. We can look to them as one of our stress reliever. I can tell you this, anyone in Jamaica that has ever owned a vehicle or still have a vehicle can tell you stories for days about their encounter with Jamaican mechanics. Now the Chinese owned wholehearted car service near Ferry Plantation Heights Strip have been allowed to reopen with conditions that includes that their employees be enrolled in the Heart NSTA Trust, and that's according to Minister of Labor and Social Security PEARNEL Charles Jr. In a statement on Sunday, the ministry said it had concluded its investigation, and as part of the resolution, the Wholehearted Car Service Limited has agreed to a set of measures like enrolling their employees with Heart Trust, where they will acquire certification, also establishing a structural apprenticeship program through the German Auto Mechanic School, that is JGAS, in collaboration with Heart Trust Agency. So when youths enroll in mechanic courses, they will get practical training at this Chinese company to learn their techniques to be more rounded. And they also have to submit a list of Jamaican employees, including their names, wages, and positions, along with copies of their fully endorsed employment contracts to the Ministry of Labor within 3 months of reopening the garage. Now, really and truly, anywhere you go in the world, it's a law where you have to employ a mixture in your businesses, as you have to show racial unbiasedness, Also, you have to support the disability community by choosing appropriately from their pool who will adjust and fit in into your company. So I know they definitely would have to have employed some Jamaicans as a criteria of their businesses running in Jamaica. So to ensure that the Chinese follow all the measures that are stipulated to them, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security will continue to monitor and conduct regular inspection to support and guide them and promote fair employment practice. So guys, this means the Chinese are open again. While some people may have thought there's a chance they would not have opened back, let's see if their pricing has changed, because before their price were tolerant to the pockets of Jamaicans when compared to most of the regular, more popular Jamaican mechanics that price you like they hate you for having a vehicle and being pricing people on how they look, because just maybe this person look a certain way they can pay more. All they do is just inflate the cost. No, we as a people, we understand how Jamaica run, and the big mechanic business in Jamaica would be the main complainants. Now, as consumers, it's based on our experiences and what we have gone through are the reasons why we are gravitating to a more organized, detailed, satisfying, and cheaper source for our vehicles. And what the Chinese have showed us is that things never had to be so hard in car care. But let's watch and see if the Chinese now reopen, if they are still beneficial to the pockets of the Jamaican people. And don't be surprised if there are changes, because just remember, before the Chinese open our eyes to the fact that we never had to be paying these ridiculous prices for still not perfectly finished jobs by these mechanics. That's why the Chinese mechanics were so welcomed by the Jamaican people. Now we know the big companies that exploit their own Jamaican people will not be happy and may have been a contributor factor to the Chinese mechanism closing down in the first place. And we know how influential these businesses are with the politicians, and you know it's an election year. So for me, with side eyes, I will be watching to see how the pricing has been affected when compared to how the big established long-time mechanics who would have been the ones affected by the Chinese mechanic if we're still getting cheaper price just like they had before their closure. Now, I'm going to share at least 2 of my mechanic experiences, and I can say for the most part, too many Jamaican mechanics are thieves straight and make you feel you are being extorted out of your money to get back your vehicle. And in some cases, you keep going back based on the crappy work they do and still have to keep paying them because they'll find ways of trying to convince you that is something else. Now, I remember a few months ago, my husband then had bought a second-hand pickup truck. And it go on, you know, you start live vehicle. So lo and behold, he went on the road one day and night come and we did not see him come in at the usual time. So as soon as we start to worry even more, he arrived home very distressed. He said he had to take the van to the mechanic. Anyway, after getting back the vehicle, the next day we went up the hill to drop off something at a relative's home. coming back down the hill, we smell something burning. When we glanced to the back of the van, pure fire. So you're like, what the hell? But we're going down the hill. Panicking, he stepped on the brake to pull over somewhere because we're going downhill, and it's a narrow road. And now this is in the night time. To our shock, no brakes. I knew I had to try and stay calm and just trust his driving skills. But when I looked out the window, it's pure precipice. If I jump, it would not be a good landing. So he was trying to gear down. So as he tried to change the gear stick came off in his hands. I swear to God, is what God said and not what man said. That man tried to stay calm because no brakes, gear stick in your hand, and fire on the back of the vehicle. That is not a good look. So, because we have to get home to our children, we really have to try and stay positive. The man used his hand and tried to move the base of the gear to slow it down, and as we round the corner, he turned the vehicle up in someone's driveway. You know, when the person live on the upside of the hill, so now the driveway is a big steep. So he tried to turn up in that driveway and the vehicle turned over. You know those houses, these long driveways there. Soon as he turned and the steepness catch the vehicle, it just tilt over and turn over in the driveway. It was either there or plunge over the hillside. Funny thing, but not funny. So as we're there trying to scramble through the one window, there comes the resident of the same house, and we now have blocked their gateway to drive in. One of these big vans, we just see 3 men alighted with fire extinguisher putting out the fire. Then after they went up for water and finished putting out the flames. I am there so confused, apologizing and stressed out, trying to let them know sorry we blocked the gate, but only we didn't have any choice. For these people, it was okay. They just want to know that we were okay and we are safe. We end up getting the vehicle towed to our own gate, and these people never asked for $1. May God forever bless them. They know who they are, because afterwards is when we find out that there are some very important game changers in Jamaica, but yet they acted so humble. At the time we did not know who they were, but thanking God they were the kind of people that they were. After all that, we went back to the mechanic only to realize that the mechanic had wrapped the electrical wiring for the vehicle around the muffler. Now, as far as I am concerned with my little brain as a woman, the muffler is the exhaust where you always see on the vehicle that carry the heat and all that. Why, as a mechanic, you would take the wiring for the vehicle and wrap it around the muffler? That's what the mechanic did, wrap the wiring around the muffler. So nothing more than now, when the muffler get hot, it ignite the electrical wires there along there, and that's why there was so much fire under the vehicle that end up come up to the tailgate part, to the beginning top of the vehicle, to the back. You understand? And of course, you don't know, you can't take the mechanic to court, or worse, do it I really want to do with him for teach him if you have sense. Because at the end of the day, we have children and we needed to be alive and be there for them. And in another sense, based on the whole situation, we feel so grateful to be alive at the end of the day. Because trust and believe, I was very ignorant for this mechanic. Trust me. Alright, me give you this one now. My second, I have so much, but I was giving you 2. These were the first 2 that really got to me. Alright, the second one. So I bought a new brand vehicle from Stewart's Auto Sale. Me tear off the plastic off the seat myself, so you know, present year first owner of the vehicle. My next baby. Anyway, eventually, well, about a year later, I noticed the headlight won't come on when you press the button. But if you keep your finger on it, it would stay on. But once you remove your finger, the light gone. So I thought if I go to Stewart's auto dealer, it might be very expensive. And I can't let night catch me on the road because of this light, as I will get ticket for the headlights from the police. I can't have that because you don't know when something will happen and you end up late on the road. So I said, let me take it to a regular mechanic and not the dealer. It may be cheaper. Get up early the next morning, went to the popular mechanic, and he tested it, and he got his electrode stuff, checking. He said, nothing is wrong with the headlights. It's the electrical wiring system in the dashboard. And I'm thinking to myself, although anything can happen with vehicle, I say my new brand vehicle, me know why I chose was to buy a new vehicle, because me not have to deal with a mechanic roughly till 5 years. By then time they may go sell it back. That's all I'm thinking in my head. Anyway, when he said that, so I asked him what that mean. He said he has to pull down the dashboard, move the steering and all that have to move, so he can get under there and go through the wiring system. So I say, what that is going to cost? He told me at that time, me I talk about more than 10 years ago, he told me $23,000. That would be like 150 US dollars now, roughly. If he can start, no. I said, no, don't start yet, because I would rather when my husband come with the vehicle, they can deal with each other man to man. So, you know, I don't know why we think like a man will be more able of understanding each other and what exactly is going to happen with the vehicle. Anyway, I went home, and I don't know what happened. While in the kitchen cooking the same evening, it just come to me, why you don't go to the dealer where you buy the vehicle from, Stewart's? Because I get worried when I hear they're going to go down in the wiring system of the vehicle and so on. And I thought to myself, you know, I think I should go up to Stewart's and get a second opinion. You know what I mean? And kind of find out if exactly that is the situation as the mechanic had said. Anyway, so first thing the next morning, got myself ready and went to Stewart's auto dealers. That's where I'd bought the car. Took the vehicle in. I told the customer service rep at Stewart's auto sale what is happening with the light and can they advise me what is wrong. I make sure emphasize on that because I already hear 123,000 argument already. So I'm thinking, now that I'm here, chances are for them price going to be double that. But I want to hear what is wrong and what is them advice before we make them touch anything. Because at that time, I was thinking I do not want no expense to a certain level like this week. You know, because when you have vehicle, you just have to organize down the line, so you have to do X, Y, Z. But right at that moment, I didn't want to have to deal with that. Now, mind you, I just want to know what is what. I do not want any work done on it that day. As I am there thinking out loud, while I wait in their lavish customer service waiting area, within 30 minutes, I think probably even less, I was called by the mechanic who handed me the bill to go and pay. I felt dizzy, like, dude, I told you, tell me what is what. And that's what I'm saying in my mind now, because I can't go on like say, getting an invoice shocking in the but I'm braving it up while inside I'm dying. I'm telling you, these people, man, that's what I'm saying to myself. I was so scared to look at the invoice. My stomach feel move, everything in my body feel weak down. Then I nervously look at the invoice. To my further confusion, I was even more weak. I saw 690 Jamaican dollars. I look at it, I turn it upside down, I sit down and I look at it. And I look at it and I say 690 Jamaican dollars, right? But remember saying, because in my head, me have a $23,000 drama there with the mechanic, you know. When I get this, it totally threw me, you know. I'm like, you know what, let me go quickly pay it. And I try to move confident, like, oh, yes, you know, it's not anything, you know. I was really shaking. So after paying the invoice, I took it to the mechanic and he handed me the key and said, you can take your vehicle, you know. I said, like, what happened? Would you believe he responded by showing me a little beanie bulb, telling me that all it was is the fuse blower. You hear what I say, people? The mechanic up by Stuart Auto Sales said, all that is wrong is that a fuse blower. Can you believe it? That all the vehicle needed for the headlights to work was the fact that a fuse blower, and that cost me less than 1,000 Jamaican dollars. Yo, that made me further look at mechanics in Jamaica differently. I'm afraid of them, honestly. Can you imagine how much women, yeah, have vehicle and something like that happen and then just need like a little fuse? And guess what happen? You go find one of these mechanics will tell you say I'm going to pull on one whole dashboard in my shop. Him have all the, because you're not going to sit down there watching him, you know. He will pull on all the dashboard and have your vehicle open up there for the whole day. Like him do some work and just really I wait for him to carry $23,000 come, then him fit it up back. Because I don't know it's a one fuse him want in it. But because of your vehicle and your vehicle might cost a certain amount of money, you don't want to have these minor infractions going on with the vehicle. You're going to be thinking that you have to go find the money and pay this. When really and truly, it's nothing like what they are telling you. And let me tell you something, guys. I could give you stories for days because I later went into the bus business. And let me tell you, yo, I can tell you a story for make you cry, story for make you roll over, story for make you angry, and story for make you scared of them mechanic, yeah, wicked and lie and thief. You get what I'm saying? So you see, when you see somebody like this Chinese wholehearted company, that's the name of it, come with proper detailing of your vehicle so you know what is happening, good diagnosis and so on, and able to can fix your vehicle, supply the parts and all of those things, and you can pay a fraction of what these mechanics will charge you. A mechanic will know this thing and keep sat there, and when him see you come, him so glad to see you come. Because even if you go there, I'm just going to use up my fuse problem as an example, and is a fuse wrong, he's going to tell you, say, you know, say you need that and that, and say you go buy 1 and 2 items that he don't necessarily need, which if you not sit down there with him because you have to go to work, him not really put them in. But when you come back, your vehicle setup are alright, and him never did need them something them, and what happened to your vehicle could have been just as what I would have experienced. It was just a fuse and in getting money for go sting. So some of them gauge where them charge you and the bill where they have for deal with. No. That is why sometimes some people rather deal with the big people more than little people. I'm not going to tell you, you know, you won't have experience, you know, where you're going to go to the big places and they're not going to lick you with that big money where another mechanic probably would have hit you a little less. But gear it in terms of customer service. If something not done right, you can carry it back to them and they will organize it. Like for example, you buy a vehicle like from Stewart's. If we talk about Stewart, can you know them do a range of vehicle, Pajero, BMW, Suzuki's and all of them stuff there and so on. You see, they have to keep your vehicle overnight, and your job means you need your vehicle. Based on your relationship with them, I just a customer service. But based on the situation, everybody's situation different still. You can get a vehicle to drive in the meantime while they have your vehicle. And you have to deal with them. You can ask how that works as well. Versus a mechanic have your vehicle there and it don't know say it's just one rubber one time. But you still keep your vehicle and probably have it a driving at night, go one party and this and here so. And so on, I came home and them in night. And so on, and I charge your money on top of it. But yet still, you not have any rights to the vehicle. But what we need now to do is that with the Chinese mechanic reopening now, you know, we need to watch to see. I'm not going to doubt that the service will be the same in terms of the service, what they offer, and so on, because they already have the knowledge of what to do. What you're going to have to watch really is the pricing, because if the bigger ones get into them head in some kind of way, like how they were closed down, and make them know say, no man, if you used to do an oil change, you say $6,000 and so on and thing, you need to make sure say we oil change to $12,000. You have to carry your one at close man if you have a $10,000. You know what I mean? Because we know how they turn. We need to just pay attention and see if yes, we get the same service and better, but will the price match how it was before? That is something that we need to really study and see what is going on, what kind of changes has happened. Because our regular Jamaican mechanics, they mostly hold you out to ransom and hustle you. Guys, let's chat. Share your experience in the comment section. Because trust and believe, once you have experience having a vehicle, you must have a story. Remember me tell you, you will have good ones too, but you must have experience a story. Remember me tell you, I could just do a story time and do at least a few just on mechanics, man, and I don't even want to dig up my stress. Bear in mind, I'm not saying they're all bad, but a lot of them is just too much to tangle with. Anyway, big up Stewart's Auto Sale. They sure gave me peace of mind that day. And let's together put hands on heart and welcome any business that can come in Jamaica, give Jamaican people value for their money, give Jamaican people good customer service, give Jamaican people respect and appreciation for using their business. Anyway guys, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now.